Hello, everybody, and welcome to our little mini workshop on team branding. So I'm Jonas Carta. I am the team lead for Team 1046 for the Bionic Tigers. And we just have a quick little session on just a rundown of basic team branding. So what is team branding? Well, team branding, by definition, is shaping the way that the others perceive your team. And so this basically is a way that you want your team to be portrayed to the world. Maybe you want to be seen as the team that is run exactly as a company. Maybe you want to be seen as the team who is incredibly professional, or maybe you want to be portrayed as the fun team, because there's nothing wrong with being fun. Sometimes actually a lot of times those teams go on to be really successful. So basically you want to determine first, how do you want to shape your team? How do you want others to see your team? Also, team branding is really easy to start, but very hard to perfect. So you want to start with something very small and easy to do, like selecting a single font. That is something that you can do probably by the time that you're done. You could do it in 5 minutes. Come up with a font that your team's going to use. Never use another font. You also want to look for team strengths to decide what you want to be known for. So if you're really strong building a robot, well, try to build your brand around your robot. Or if it's outreach, build your brand around outreach, stuff like that. And on a more advanced level, branding can be having identically spaced margins, the same depth of curve on photos. Basically, you can take it to whatever limit you want. You can go hardcore crazy on it, but it's a nice, just like a little over halfway. If it was like a scale, halfway would be a nice spot to be at for robotics teams. Also, successful implementation of branding will allow teams to be instantly recognizable and memorable. So you go out into the community and people can see maybe your logo on your shirt and be like, I know who that is, and I know that they're a good team. So that's something that team branding would help you accomplish.
So where should you start with team branding? Well, to start off with team branding at the beginning, you should start off with small tasks that are easy to set up and maintain. So this includes selecting a font for your title and a font for your body text. So here we have audio, wide, and roboto, respectively. You can determine a specific color palette involving 3 to 4 colors. So here's one of the colors that we use. Our orange is FF6600 for the hexadecimal code. You can create a simplistic style guide, which is this image we have on the right, which allows everyone in your team to like kind of see what this all of the style is, so then they can easily implement it into other pieces of documentation. You should design a recognizable and creative logo. Like Jonas said, you want people to be able to just see your logo and be like, I know who they are, they're pretty cool. And make sure that you put extra effort into making sure that everything follows matches each other. It'll look a lot more professional than if everything's multicolored and doesn't have any sort of structure. So creating and using a logo is one of the big parts of that. And so a logo is the most defining aspect of a brand. So designing an effective logo is crucial. And it helps you create prominence in not only the FTC community, but also the professional community. So you should make a simple version of a logo that's recognizable in different sizes. So you can see here on the right are some famous logos, and you can still tell what most of them are when you downscale them, because they're so recognizable from any distance. You want to put the logo everywhere you can. You want to put it on your shirts. You want to put it on your pamphlets you're handing out, or buttons, your boards at your pit. Just wherever you can, you want to put your logo on it. You want to design a logo that's unique and stands out, because the more distinct your logo is, the more fun it'll be. You also want to ensure that the logo follows the same colors and fonts as everything else. So you can see our logo in the top right. This follows our style guide that we had previously. Same colors, same fonts.
So when it comes to social media, you want to try and use the same handle for all of your platforms. So like, if your handle on Twitter is, I don't know, Bionic Tigers 10464, you don't want your handle on Instagram to be like XX Tiger Slayer or something. You want to keep it the same throughout it. Obviously, somebody might try and take that. That username is already taken. Can't take it back. You might be able to, but I'm rambling. Yeah. You're going to want to make your posts like 60% about, team stuff, like, here's what we're doing, here's this, here's that. And then like 40% about, hey, here's how you can support us, and here's our merch, follow us on Twitter or something. Okay, and then when it comes to the engineering notebook, you're going to want to do the same kind of thing with the logo. Pick a font that you're going to use, a color scheme, that kind of thing. If one slide is in Roboto and has black text on a white background, you're not going to want the next slide to be blue and Times New Roman with like a red rainbow letters. That's not going to go well.
So this is just like one of the examples from our notebook on how you can see here, we have two completely different sections. We have our programming section and our engineering notebook section, but they share a very similar format. They have the same fonts, they have the same colors, they have the same text boxes, they have the same text box curves, but they each are also unique because the engineering notebook one has that gray color, and that will be seen throughout the entire engineering section, whereas the programming section has black, and we'll have another section have our orange color, and so you can kind of see the similarities there. For competition day, obviously being recognizable is something that is really important and will make competitions not only more successful, but also a lot more fun. So you're going to want to design a setup for your team pit that follows everything we talked about. So everything looks the same. You have the same colors. You have the same logos. Logos are everywhere, stuff like that. You don't want to bright red, pink if your team colors are green and blue. That just wouldn't really match your team, because it's going to allow other teams to even know where your pit is without even actually visiting it, because they can see your colors. You're also going to want to come out with a set outfit for every competition and make sure that all your members are wearing it. So if you see in our photo, we all are wearing jeans and our team shirts. We also have orange bandanas, which make things a little bit more fun. And then our drive team actually has orange suspenders, which also gives it a little bit more fun. So if you ever see photos of a team with orange suspenders, that's probably our team. And then gracious professionalism, which hopefully you all know, but if you don't, it's basically playing against the game instead of the other teams. And so when you're acting at competitions, that's also part of your brand. If you're known as a team that's always so rude to everyone, they don't want to help each other, that is your brand. You want to be known as a team who's always helpful, that if teams will come forward for advice, for help, and that will help you build that brand. Even though it doesn't seem like it, that physical side, the way your team acts, is really, really important at competitions. And at outreach, it's another huge part about branding, because this is where the community gets to interact with you. So creating a recognizable brand in your community will allow your team to have more prominence, not only in the community, so everyone recognizes you, but also in the professional field, which means you're possibly going to be able to create more sponsors and have better relationship with those sponsors as well. So you're going to want to create a team shirt that doesn't really change drastically from year to year. You don't want to do a complete redesign of every part of the shirt. You want to keep it mainly the same. Our team, we keep the same front every year, but we change the back, but we even kind of keep this similar back style. So our shirt looks basically the same all the time. You also want to purchase team flags and banners that can be seen from a large distance, like you see here on the left, that giant banner with our audio wide fonts, our logo, our website, all of that stuff, all in the same style guide that we've talked about through this whole presentation. And you're going to want to design business cards that can be handed out with all of your socials, websites, emails, and all of that stuff, with that team branding card also following the same guide. Our business cards, if you've ever seen them, look exactly like that banner. So you'll just be able to see that. And if you ever see us at competitions, ask us for a business card. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our little presentation today. I hope you learned quite a bit about team branding, or at least a little bit to get you started. But if you ever have any more questions about team branding or anything else, we kind of listed a couple of things that we'd love to help you with, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter or Instagram, or email us. We're happy to help you. We can set up calls sometime to talk. Otherwise, we hope to see you at competition sometime. Thank you.